After being reborn, I immediately had the driver pick me up from school in the most expensive car. Just because that fake nice guy wanted to get with my childhood sweetheart, he not only hinted to the classmates that I was the only poor student in the whole school, but also pretended that he was the real rich kid. So when he came to me again after school and said if no one was picking me up, I could ride home in his family's luxury car, a globally limited Rolls-Royce, pulled up at the school gate. Amidst everyone's gasps of astonishment, the driver got out of the car and walked up to me. He politely addressed me, "Young master, sir sent me to take you home." As soon as they realized the car was mine, the other boys were all stunned. How could GUU really be GUU? Just what kind of family background does GU have? How could his family possibly own such an extravagant vehicle? Tianhao is close to GUU. Do you know what kind of family GUU really comes from? Right now, Han Tianhao just felt half his face, burning with humiliation, as if he had been slapped hard in the face in front of everyone. A globally limited edition Rolls-Royce. How much money do you need to afford that? Han Tianhao secretly clenched his fists. By now, I was already in the car. Through the rear-view mirror, I saw Han Tianhao's father. But with my car just now as a warm-up, this one simply can't compare. The driver noticed how different I was acting, and couldn't help but say, "Young master, didn't you dislike being so high-profile?" I've changed my mind. Starting today, I want to be picked up and dropped off every day. The flashier, the better. Best if I ride a different car every day. Hearing my request, the driver was truly happy. "Young master, you should have done this long ago. After all, I'm the precious treasure of the Jiu family, pampered and cherished by the whole family since birth, treated so carefully I'm practically wrapped in gold." I looked at Uncle Lee. "Do we have a dinner arranged tonight?" "Yes, it's about you and Miss Yi's engagement." "Great. I remember well. In my previous life at this very dinner, my parents wanted to call off the engagement. But the Yuan's mother was single-minded, determined to marry her daughter into my family. The Yuyang was totally unwilling, but she couldn't go against her mother's wishes. After all, the family was already on the verge of collapse. Without the Jiu family's help, the family would have gone bankrupt within half a year. Last time I was soft-hearted. I couldn't bear to see my beloved childhood friend and her family fall from grace. So, I agreed right away to marry the Yuyan after graduation. But this time around, I'm definitely not going to be that foolish again. Soon, the car stopped in front of the Four Seasons Hotel. I got out of the car and immediately spotted the Yuyan just arriving at the entrance. Outside the hotel, the Yuyan deliberately waited for me. When she saw me walking toward her, she said coldly, "Let me warn you on purpose. I don't like you, and I'm never going to marry you." Me neither. The moment I spoke, the Yuyan frowned in confusion. She always knew about my feelings for her before. It wasn't like she couldn't tell. Even a fool knew I had a crush on her. But I never said it, and never intended to spell it out. After all, she was never interested in me. But now, I'm saying I don't like her, and don't want to marry her. The Yuyan let out a cold laugh, assuming I was just wounded, and acting out of pride after being rejected. Inside the VIP private room, my parents were already seated. Because the Yuan's father had passed away, it was just her mother representing the family. As soon as the Yuyan and I walked in, her mother warmly grabbed my hand. "Xiaoyu, look at you. You've lost weight in just a few days, and you've gotten even more handsome." I clearly remembered how cunning Mrs. The was. When I married the Yuyan, she relentlessly schemed for my assets. Even before I married the Yuyan, she was already planning ahead, plotting how to get her hands on our post-marriage wealth. Later, it was my money that let her family have a comfortable old age. And on top of that, she even attended the Yuyan and Han Tianhao's wedding all dressed up. Seeing Mrs. Yi's over-enthusiastic expression, I pulled my hand back. "Auntie, I actually put on 10 pounds since last time. Let's just get to business today." My indifferent attitude made her a little awkward. Mrs. The couldn't help but feel embarrassed. The Yuyan, standing nearby, wasn't pleased. You, how can you talk to my mom like that? I'm just telling the truth. What's your problem? The Yuyan. Facing my retort, the Yuyan coldly scoffed. You, drop your young master attitude. I know you look down on the family. We're the ones clinging on to you. If you don't want to marry her, just say it straight out. Mrs. The angrily patted the Yuan's arm. Yuyan, what's with you? Spouting nonsense? Their family is down on their luck now. If not for the Gu family, how could the two of them? How could I ever make the family successful? The Yuyan had no intention of hiding her dissatisfaction. Mom, don't stop me. I'm just telling it like it is. As expected, both my parents' expressions changed. Just now they could at least hold on to basic courtesy. Now they couldn't even force a smile. So this is how the Yuyan really sees our son. Looks like your daughter isn't interested in marrying my son after all. Let's just call this engagement off. Brother Jiu, Yuyan's just being a little immature. Please don't be angry. I'll make sure she apologizes properly to Xiaoyu. Besides, hasn't Xiaoyu always liked Yuyan too? These two kids are just having a quarrel. Xiaoyu, wouldn't you agree? Mrs. The quickly looked at me, but I replied calmly, Auntie, you're mistaken. Between the Yuyan and me, we were always childhood friends, nothing more. Just now at the door, the Yuyan has already told me she doesn't like me and absolutely won't marry me. That's how I feel as well. So I came today just to make it clear. I want to break off the engagement with the Yuyan. Hearing my words, just as night fell, the Yuyan was completely dumbfounded. Before, I was the one who liked her, always trying all kinds of ways to talk to him. He knew all of that. How could I suddenly agree to call off the engagement? My parents were stunned as well. I'd always been stubborn. They warned me over and over not to marry into the family, but I just wouldn't listen. Now, out of nowhere, I've changed my mind. Auntie, we won't be having dinner, and our family should keep their distance from now on. With that, I stood up, walked over to my parents. Mom, Dad, let's go. Seeing my parents sitting across from me, I couldn't help but feel my eyes well up. In my lost life, it was my stubbornness that ended up ruining the Jiu family. We were eventually taken down by the Yuan's revenge. Truth is, the Yuyan was a total ingrate. In the last life, my parents helped the family so much. But later, when the family became dominant, the Yuyan gained power and status. The first to be squeezed out was the Jiu family. Because the Yuyan has a strong sense of pride and is also very narrow-minded. He always felt that my parents making me marry her was an insult to the family, and even more so, a charity to him, the Yuyan. So after he gained power, he couldn't wait to wipe out our Jiu family, to get rid of his so-called humiliation. A woman like her doesn't deserve our Jiu family's help at all. When we got home for dinner, I made up my mind to lose weight. My mother didn't say much. She quietly came in carrying a plate of food. Looking at the boiled vegetables and shrimp in front of me, I was stunned. Then my mother gently said, no matter how much you want to lose weight, you can't skip meals. From now on, I'll have the auntie make you weight loss meals. My eyes welled up with tears. With both my parents here, I feel so blessed after all I've been through. I finally realized how precious family is. In my lost life, I felt inferior about my weight and completely ignored the warmth my parents gave me. I even placed my hope for warmth in others. Thank you, Mom. I lowered my head and ate the vegetables in big bites. I have made up my mind. I have to lose weight in 3 months. The next day, I was so hungry I was dizzy. When I got on the scale, I found I suddenly lost 5 pounds. Although I was happy, I knew it was just water weight. Losing weight is about perseverance. I absolutely can't get careless. At school, I'm picked up and dropped off in a luxury car every day, making all the other students jealous. I sat in my seat. Han Tianhao handed me a box of chocolates. Even though I was insecure when I was a kid, I actually wasn't that fat. But then I started gaining weight for no reason. At first, I thought it was just stress. Only later did I realize something was wrong. Because the time I started gaining weight coincided exactly with when I met Han Tianhao. Besides tempting me with delicious food, he must have also used some drugs to make me gain weight. Don't be so polite with me. I just saw how hard it is for you to lose weight, so I thought one small piece wouldn't hurt. As he spoke, he stuffed the chocolate directly into my hand. But I suddenly shouted, and the box of chocolate fell to the floor. Immediately, there was quite a commotion in the classroom. After saying a few words to the English teacher who was teaching, he picked up the chocolate. Watching the imported chocolate being confiscated by the English teacher, Han Tianhao didn't look happy. Having something confiscated is a small matter, but that chocolate has something in it. Thinking deeply, I saw Han Tianhao's plan failed, so I sat back down. The English teacher is known to be greedy for little benefits, and this box of chocolates is so expensive. After being confiscated, it'll probably end up in the English teacher's stomach. I want to see what happens when the truth comes out. Let's see how Han Tianhao handles it then. In a blink, it was break time. After class ended, Han Tianhao rushed to the office to find the English teacher. He admitted his mistake. Han Tianhao couldn't get his chocolate back. Just as he left the office, he ran right into the Yuyan. The Yuyan saw Han Tianhao's lost look, so she asked, "Tianhao, what were you doing in the office?" Han Tianhao explained why. Hearing him mention me, the Yu seemed a little annoyed too. "You should hang out less with Jiu Yu from now on. Did you forget what happened at the swimming pool last time? Did you forget? Afterwards, you told me it was Jiu Yu who pulled you into the water. He had bad intentions from the start. You don't need to be friends with people like that." The Yuyang was defending herself, but Han Tianhao felt a bit smug inside. Thinking about how I've been picked up in a luxury car these days, Han Tianhao couldn't help but ask, "I want to ask about Jiu Yu's family situation. Are they really rich? I see he's picked up by a different car every day. They must be loaded, right? Were you two childhood friends? I'm not connected to him in any way. Whether his family has money has nothing to do with me." Han Tianhao could hear the annoyance in the Yuyan's tone. He quickly apologized, "Sorry, I'm just asking." Seeing Han Tianhao's flustered look, the Yuyan realized her attitude was too harsh just now. She comforted him. All right. I know you're worried. I'll fall for him. Don't worry. The one I like is you." I was right behind the Yuyan, having just come upstairs from downstairs, and saw this explosive scene. Han Tianhao hurriedly pushed the Yuyan away. "Xiaoyu, don't get the wrong idea. The Yuan heard me coming, and deliberately leaned on Han Tianhao. There's no misunderstanding. We like each other." He was desperate to see me, his eyes full of pain and regret. After all, I used to have a crush on him, always trailing behind him like a little follower, and worked hard to lose weight for him. He wanted me to know that rejecting her was the thing he regretted most. While the Yuyan was waiting to see my regretful face, I expressionlessly pointed at the two of them and said to the dean of students just arriving upstairs, "Director, the Yuan and Han Tianhao are dating. Look." As the dean of students approached, Han Tianhao almost immediately pushed the Yuyan away. When the dean saw Han Tianhao and the Yuyan, these two exemplary students, hugging together, his face instantly turned stern. "You two, come with me to the office." The Yuyan and Han Tianhao were taken away by the dean. As they were leaving, the Yuyan shot me a vicious look. I couldn't care less about the Yuan's childish behavior just now. The Yuyan can't hurt me at all. After class, Han Tianhao returned to the classroom dejected. Other students gathered around Han Tianhao, asking what happened. But Han Tianhao just glared at me resentfully. The Yuyan stormed into the classroom. The Yuyan stormed in angrily, came up and grabbed my arm. "Come here with me." The Yuyan was strong, almost dragging me out. Just as I was thinking about how to embarrass the Yuyan again, a fair-skinned arm suddenly reached out in front of me and grabbed the Yuan's hand. "Let go." That voice sounded so familiar, like I'd heard it when I was reborn. It was the Kingren who came in. "You? What You want to stick up for Jiu too. The Yuyan tried to shake off the Kingren's hold, but the Kingren stood completely still. It took hardly any effort at all for the Yuyan to be unable to break free. Seeing she couldn't even shake off the Kingren, the Yuan's face grew dark. Out of the corner of her eye, she spotted Han Tianhao, sitting in a chair not far away. Of course the Yuyan couldn't tolerate being so weak in front of the guy she likes. The Kingren wasn't on guard, and sure enough, suddenly lost her balance and hit the desk behind her. I immediately shouted toward the door. It was the Yuan who hit someone. Jiu, shut up! The Yuan's face looked awful, but it was already too late. The homeroom teacher heard the noise and came in, and saw the Kingren clutching her stomach, face pale, while the Yuan was still pointing at me, face full of fury. The homeroom teacher couldn't take it anymore. The Yuan, how many times are you going to act up in one day? After school today, bring your parents. Soon Yuan was taken away by the homeroom teacher. I turned to look at the pale-faced the Kingren. I'll take you to the nurse's office. Without waiting for the Kingren to agree, I picked her up. The Kingren was stunned and stared blankly at the side of my face. He stared at my profile, lost in thought. This quickly caused a commotion among the classmates nearby. Seeing the others stirring up trouble, the Kingren frowned slightly. His expression turned cold and menacing. This sent a chill through the entire class. No one dared to make any more noise. The Kingren also didn't ask me to hold him anymore. He grabbed my wrist and led me out of the classroom. I stared at the hand the Kingren was holding. I was stunned for a moment. I could clearly see the Kingren's ears turning red. I thought about when I was reborn. It seemed like someone pulled me out of the water and did CPR on me. Without thinking, I blurted out, "The Kingren, the one who gave me CPR at the swimming pool that day. It was you." The moment I said it, even I was startled. The Kingren was even more shocked and instantly let go of my hand as if shocked by electricity. "Sorry, I didn't mean to. I didn't say you did it on purpose. I just wanted to thank you." The Kingren didn't say anything. He walked in the direction of the infirmary instead. Inside the infirmary, the doctor took one look at the Kingren's wound. "It's nothing serious. Just put on some medicated oil and you'll be fine. One bottle is 80 yuan. Just pay at the front." Hearing this, the Kingren pressed his lips together. "No need," he said, then turned and left the infirmary. I quickly followed the Kingren out. The Kingren clearly had no intention of waiting for me. As I hurried to catch up, I slipped. It looked like I was about to fall. The Kingren suddenly reached out and steadied my arm. "Did you get hurt anywhere?" "No," I shook my head. I pulled a bottle of medicated oil from my pocket and stuffed it into the Kingren's hand. "I looked at your wound. It's not deep. I used this a lot lately. You could give it a try." "It's not deep. I used this a lot lately. You could give it a try." Looking at the medicated oil in his hand, the Kingren stayed silent for a moment. I clearly knew the Kingren was an illegitimate daughter and was often bullied by Mrs. Thi and the Yuyan at home. Now that the family was struggling, Mrs. Thi wouldn't possibly give Kingren any money. The Kingren pushed the medicated oil back to me. "Thanks, but I don't need it." Considering the Kingren's pride, "This medicated oil is completely free for you. There's a reward." Hearing the word reward, the Kingren stopped walking. "I know you're tight on money at home. Plus you just saved me. I was thinking maybe we could make a deal." "What kind of deal?" "You know, I'm trying to lose weight. Help me with that. I'll give you 500 yuan a month. How about it?" Hearing this, the Kingren frowned. "I'm not worth that much. Of course, I'll only pay if there are real results." I pulled some red bills out of my pocket and put a bottle of medicated oil in the Kingren's hand. "This is your salary for the week, plus my thank you gift for what you did for me. During lunch break and the afternoon break each day, wait for me." Before the Kingren could respond, the bell for class had already rung. I pulled the Kingren with me and headed back to our class. "Hurry up, class is starting." When I got back to Class A, I realized the teacher hadn't arrived yet. At some point, my desk and chair had been knocked over. Books and everything from my backpack were scattered everywhere. Seeing this scene, my eyes darkened. Everyone in the class was watching me and snickering. Who did this? As soon as I asked, no one around answered. Jokai arrogantly spoke up. How would anyone know? Jokai arrogantly said, who knows? Maybe it was just the wind. But some people deserve to be punished for being tattletales. Judging by his face, I knew Jokai was definitely responsible. Because he's always backing Han Tianhao. I sneered, walked straight over and flipped Jokai's desk. Jokai jumped out of his chair in shock. Jiu, are you crazy? Finally, I gave Jokai's chair a hard kick. For a moment, only his shouting could be heard in the classroom. I glared at him, shut up. Let me warn you, if you don't want your parents called up one by one, then keep your hands off my stuff. I'm not someone you can bully. Han Tianhao stood up, trying to act morally superior. Jiu, you're going too far. We're all classmates. How can you bully others like this? Shut up. You're the one who's dating early and breaking rules. But act as if you're all innocent. You let your friends stand up for you. If I report this to the teacher today, they'll get demerits because of you. Is that how you treat your friends? Han Tianhao's face fell. My moral argument had shamed him completely. I put him right on the spot. Han Tianhao was at a loss for words. Jokai stepped up to defend him again. Jiu, stop making things up. We just can't stand you. It has nothing to do with Tianhao. Really? So you admit you pushed over my desk. If you dare mess with my desk today, you could easily hurt me tomorrow. Not only am I calling the teacher, I'm calling the police. When I said I was going to call the police, Jokai's face went pale instantly. Call the police? When he heard that, Jokai turned completely pale. Seeing that I was about to leave, he rushed up and grabbed my arm. Jiu, stop right there. The Chinese teacher had already walked in from outside. She happened to see Jokai pulling me. I let myself go limp on purpose. Jokai's tug pulled me right down onto the overturned desk. When the teacher saw me fall, she hurried over to help me up. Jiu, are you okay? I shook my head, pale-faced. I'm fine, teacher. What on earth happened? Why is the classroom such a mess? Jokai and his friends just stood there, all stiff with nerves. They didn't dare speak, and just anxiously waited for my answer. I glanced at Jokai and his group, knowing I'd already achieved my goal. We just had a little scuffle during the break, but it's already settled. Right, Jokai? When he realized I wasn't ratting them out, Jokai and his friends were stunned. The teacher clearly didn't buy it, but she still helped me up. All right, as long as it's resolved. But don't let me find out anyone was out for revenge. As she spoke, the teacher actually looked at Han Tianhao. Han Tianhao and the Yuan's romance had already spread throughout the teacher's office. The look she gave made Han Tianhao very uncomfortable. After class, Han Tianhao caught up with me while I was running. He put his arm around my shoulder, looking guilty. Xiaoyu, when Jokai and the others were bullying you, I tried to stop them, but I couldn't. Sorry. You weren't hurt just now, right? I looked at him coldly. Does this have nothing to do with you? After I said that, I walked away. Han Tianhao anxiously ran up to me. Xiaoyu, I've already admitted my mistake. Please forgive me. We anxiously ran up to me. Xiaoyu, I've already admitted my mistake. Please forgive me. We're best friends after all. I know it's because Yu Zhang confessed to me. You're upset about it. That's why you told the teacher. But you can't force feelings, you know. Han Tianhao deliberately raised his voice a little, so that all the students in the corridor could hear. Seeing everyone's gossiping faces around me, I couldn't help but laugh. You're talking about the Yu Yang, right? She's the one I didn't want anymore. If you like her, she's yours.
After saying that,
I walked right past Han Tianhao. He froze for a moment. What do you mean, the one he didn't want anymore? At that moment, the Yu Yan came out of the office with a sullen face. He was made to stand as punishment for a whole class by the homeroom teacher, and he even got points deducted. Jiu, the Yuyan snapped in a low, angry voice. I stopped walking. I saw the Yuyan grab Han Tianhao's arm. I glanced back at Han Tianhao, secretly laughing to myself. In my previous life, the Yuyan loved Han Tianhao deeply for years. It was just something she couldn't get in her youth. The things you can't have when you're young will haunt you for life, but once you get them, they might not be as perfect as you thought. Especially now that the family is about to go bankrupt. And Han Tianhao is just a driver's son. What lies ahead for the two of them is much more complicated than just Han Tianhao's lies. Their ending is easy to imagine. I ignored them and turned to leave. After the last class in the afternoon, I went to wait for the Kingren at the entrance of Class F. At the same time, I saw Mrs. The looking furious. She ran straight to the school. A lot of people were watching outside the office. Even at the entrance of Class F, Mrs. The ran to the school in a rage. A lot of people were gathering around the office. Even in front of Class F, I could still hear the crisp sound of slapping coming from the office. Mrs. Yi's sharp voice pierced everyone's ears. The Yuyan, you have no shame. At least I do. Who allowed you to date at your age? The Yuyan is now Mrs. Yi's only hope. If her early romance affects her studies, the family would really be done for. Especially at a time like this. Aside from the Jiyu family, at this crucial moment, who else could help them? At this point, the family. The Kingren's clear voice reached my ears. Jiyu, when I turned around, I saw the Kingren standing in front of me. Come on, let's go to the swimming pool. With your current body type, running isn't that effective for losing weight, and it could hurt your knees. Swimming is more suitable for you. Then let's go to my house. We have a pool. I suddenly made this invitation. The Kingren froze for a second. Don't worry, I'll cover the travel costs. I stuffed 50 yuan into the Kingren's hand. The Kingren looked at the 50 yuan in her hand, but didn't say anything and pushed the money back to me. I've already accepted your payment. Since I promised to help you lose weight, I won't charge you anything extra. Seeing that, I didn't insist either. The two of us walked one after the other. When we got to the school gate, a luxury car was suddenly parked there, right in front of the Kingren and me. The driver got out and opened the door for the Kingren. The Kingren got in a bit awkwardly. I got in right after her. Seeing the Kingren looking uneasy, I smiled and said, "Don't be nervous. My parents are very nice. They just don't like the Yuyan, that's all." The Kingren didn't say anything, smiling as I began to speak. "Don't be nervous. My parents are very kind. They just dislike the Yuyan, that's all." The Kingren didn't say anything. Soon the car arrived at the Jiyu family's villa. The Kingren and I had just stepped inside. The aroma of food drifted out from the hallway. I suggested out loud, "Let's eat first. We'll need the energy for exercise." "No need." The sound of my mother's voice interrupted the Kingren's long-prepared refusal. "Xiao Yu, hurry up and change your shoes, then come eat." When Mom reached the entryway, she finally saw the Kingren standing next to me. Kingren's dad also came downstairs from the second floor. Seeing the Kingren and I come home together, he couldn't help but feel confused. Doesn't our son really dislike people from the family? How did he get so close with the Kingren? "Mom, Dad, Kingren has been helping me lose weight. Can you prepare an extra set of tableware every night from now on?" I said it casually, leaving the Kingren no way to refuse. My parents exchanged glances. Even though they said they didn't like the family, they still politely asked the Kingren to change her shoes. "Come in and eat." There were 6 dishes and a soup on the table in the living room. For my diet, I could only eat some shrimp and broccoli. Mom looked at the Kingren's thin figure. Feeling sorry, she scooped more rice for him and told him to eat slowly. "If it's not enough, there's more." "Thank you, Aunt Jiyu." The Kingren finished all the food on his plate. Afterward, he quietly went to wash the dishes. When I saw this, I immediately put down my chopsticks. Called out to Aunt Wu in the kitchen. "Aunt Wu will handle the dishes." Aunt Wu stepped forward, taking the dishes from the Kingren's hands. "Miss The, just leave it to me." The Kingren opened his mouth, but didn't have time to say what he wanted. I took the Kingren with me and headed to the backyard pool, seeing a pool as big as the school's. Even the Kingren was a bit stunned. At this moment, I came out in my swimsuit. The Kingren handed me a weight loss plan. "This is for you." He had already made a detailed plan based on my body type during the break. I was a bit surprised. You made this so quickly. Looking at the detailed weight loss plan in my hands, it even lists what I need to eat each day, and how much water I should drink daily. How much exercise I need is all written out. The Kingren said seriously. You can't rely on starvation to lose weight. You didn't eat enough tonight. Usually eat more cucumbers and cherry tomatoes. Things like winter melon and corn are fine too. But don't eat until you're full each day. Remember to go to bed hungry every night. I nodded, half understanding. Seeing I didn't quite get it, the Kingren stayed quiet for a moment, then spoke again. I'll supervise you every day. You don't need to completely understand it. Hearing this, I nodded. My parents peered in, heads poking out, watching the Kingren supervise my swimming by the pool. The two barely talked at all. Mom was puzzled. What's going on? Are they really just exercising? Dad was just as confused. Could it be our little girl has a new crush? Doesn't like the Yuyan anymore, and now likes the Kingren? My parents commented back and forth, catching the Kingrens and my attention. I poked my head out from the pool. Mom, Dad, what are you doing? Hearing my voice, Dad and Mom quickly stepped out from the corner. You're Mom, and I prepared something for you too. Dad brought you some fruit. You can have it when you get tired from swimming. That's right. If you think just swimming is boring, go upstairs to the gym on the second floor. There's a ton of equipment in there. Mom and Dad smiled awkwardly. I could immediately tell my parents were overthinking. I climbed out of the pool and took the fruit from Mom's hands. Thanks, Mom. You two should go back, stop watching. I shooed my parents away, then looked at the Kingren again. Let's keep going. I acted like nothing was wrong and kept swimming. But I was actually a bit embarrassed. Ashamed, as expected, when I poked my head out of the water. I was looking right into the Kingren's deep eyes. Awkwardly laughed a couple of times while eating fruit, then buried my head back in the water. The Kingren didn't say anything, just blushed a little. For 7 days in a row, the Kingren and I went home together after school, but nobody really noticed, because all the classmates' attention was on the Yuyan and Han Tianhao. After the day our parents were called, the Yuyan fought with her family over Han Tianhao, even threatened to give up her inheritance, almost sent Mrs. to the hospital with anger. The teachers at school couldn't do anything about the Yuyan and Han Tianhao either. That day, as soon as we got to school, a student suddenly rushed in, shouting anxiously that something bad happened. When I heard that, the first thing I thought of was the English teacher. It's already been 7 days. The problem should be obvious now. Apparently, the other students had no idea what happened. But to see some drama, everyone ran off to the teaching building, headed straight for the office in the teaching building. A shrill voice of the English teacher came from the office. Mr. Wang, you must give me an explanation today. The homeroom teacher was at a loss too. He didn't know what happened either, so he had a student call Han Tianhao over. When Han Tianhao was called to the office, the English teacher immediately shot him a sharp look. Han Tianhao, come here. He pulled Han Tianhao in front of the homeroom teacher and questioned, what exactly did you put in the chocolate? The English teacher used to be thin, but in just a week, she was visibly gaining weight. Han Tianhao's face went pale. I don't know. I didn't do it. Seeing how scared Han Tianhao looked, the homeroom teacher sided with Miss Liu right away. You got fat by yourself. How can you blame my student? Would my student even drug you to hurt you? These past few days, I've been on a diet. Aside from eating that box of chocolate every day, I just drank tea. How can someone gain over 15 pounds in just 1 week? I've already sent the chocolate for testing. The results show someone added hormones to it. Han Tianhao, that's quite something. The students outside gasped. Who would add hormones? That's terrifying. Tianhao is so kind. How could he drug the English teacher? It was the first time the students heard such explosive gossip, and the homeroom teacher's face turned dark too. He looked at the lab results and yanked Han Tianhao over. Han Tianhao, is this true? Did you do this? Han Tianhao's face turned even paler. He never thought a box of chocolate could get things this serious. No, it wasn't me, I didn't do it. You still want to make excuses. At such a young age, you already know how to drug people. Who knows what you'll do when you grow up? Call your parents to come over. This matter must be properly addressed. The English teacher dragged Han Tianhao to the phone. Just then, the Yuyan stepped forward. I'm the one who put the medicine in the chocolate. It has nothing to do with Han Tianhao. Anyone can see. The Yuyan is taking the blame for Han Tianhao. The Yuyan pulled Han Tianhao over. I'm the one who did it. If you need to call parents, call mine. That afternoon, the Yuan's parents were contacted. When Yi's mother heard her daughter was taking responsibility for Han Tianhao's mistake, she paid up. Her impression of Han Tianhao got even worse. But the matter didn't end there. The English teacher insisted on calling the police and wanted to punish the Yuyan. Even after Yi's mother pleaded repeatedly, they still paid 200,000 yuan, and the Yuan got a major demerit. That day I was in a great mood. Even my workouts felt more energetic. Over 10 days since my rebirth, I've already lost 20 pounds. But the further I go, the harder it gets to lose weight. At least it's a good start. Finals are approaching. All the students in Class A are working hard. Every day, besides doing practice questions, they're buried in memorizing textbooks. In the library, I'm studying diligently. Suddenly, someone kicked the chair opposite me. I frowned. When I looked up, sure enough, it was the Yuyan. I was quite annoyed. What do you want? Wasn't that chocolate thing you're doing? What makes you think it was me? Other than Tianhao, only you touched the chocolate. You still claim it wasn't you. Why not suspect Han Tianhao? Instead, you suspect me. The Yuyan looked disdainful. Tianhao is kind, but you did it on purpose. How come I never realized you were this cruel? I closed my book, looking completely indifferent. If you really had a brain, go investigate yourself. If you find evidence it's me, you can go ahead and report me. But if you have no evidence, don't act like a hero in front of me. That's just stupid. My words provoked the Yuyan. She slammed the table and stood up. She looked about ready to hit me. The next second, someone grabbed the Yuyan's arm. This is the library. It's not a place for you to act out. Who do you think you are? Get lost. The Yuyan tried to shake off the Kingren. She tried several times, but couldn't shake her off. The librarian's job is to maintain the order in the library. Do I need to press the alarm? The Yuyan glanced at the Kingren, then looked at me. What? You two are together now. Jiu Yi, you used to chase me shamelessly. Now you're suddenly with the Kingren. As soon as the Yuyan finished speaking, I was afraid things would escalate, so I quickly stood up. The Kingren, don't move. I'm afraid this will escalate. She immediately stood up. The Kingren, don't make a move after you hear me speak. The Kingren regained her composure. She stared coldly at the Yuan on the ground. Watch your mouth. If it happens again, I'll tear her apart. The Yuyan didn't expect the Kingren would dare to lay hands on her. She was instantly furious. Just as the Yuan was about to strike again, I stepped in front of the Kingren. The Yuyan, you started it with insults. You deserve to be hit. If you retaliate again, you'll be in the wrong. Do you really want another mark on your record? So be it. Like I care about that. Don't forget, one more mark and you'll be expelled from school. If you leave, what about Han Tianhao? Hearing Han Tianhao's name, the Yuan's impulsive hand immediately stopped. I realized I'd found the Yuan's weak spot. So I pulled the Kingren's arm. Let's go, help me find another place to study. This time the Yuyan didn't come forward. Seeing the Yuyan leave, I finally picked a random spot to sit down. What a pain. Seriously, such a pain. I'm going to work. The Kingren's tone was indifferent. Don't know why. I felt the Kingren was a bit unhappy. I went over to comfort her. The Yuyan was just talking nonsense just now. She's got a dark mind herself. Don't take it to heart. I'm used to it. You're the library assistant? Yeah, how come you never mentioned it before? You never asked. The Kingren was shelving books. So I followed behind. You're so good at studying. You should be in Class A. Why did you fight before? Forgot it. The Kingren clearly didn't want to talk more. I smiled awkwardly at the side, just so it wouldn't be too awkward. I smiled awkwardly at the side, just so things wouldn't get too tense between us. Watching the Kingren struggling to move the books, thinking about how hard her life is in the family, I thought for a bit, then spoke up. The Kingren, I know you're smart. Can you do me a favor? I said I need help with my studies. Can you tutor me every night from now on? I'll pay you extra. 100 per session. How's that? The Kingren looked up at me. You always rank top 10 in every exam. You don't need tutoring. I've been slacking lately. My practice tests are a mess. Forget top 10. I can't even make the top 100. Don't worry. As long as I pass the finals, I'll give you a reward of 1,000 yuan. Please help me. I don't look like I'm lying. The Kingren hesitated for a moment. I kept going. If it's too much for you, you can tutor me on weekends instead. Got it. Seeing the Kingren agree, a delighted look flashed across my face. Deal. With study genius, the Kingyun helping me, I'll definitely ace the finals next time. Just as I planned to bury myself in studying again, the Kingren suddenly started coughing violently. I finally noticed the Kingren didn't look well. Because of the severe coughing, her face and neck were red. The Kingmo. I tried to touch the Kingren's forehead, but she reflexively knocked my hand away. No need. Another library assistant hurried over. The Kingren, I told you to wait over there. I'll get you medicine. Why are you running around? Medicine? What's wrong with the Kingren? The Kingren, I told you to wait over there. I'll get you medicine. Why are you running around? Medicine? What's wrong with the Kingren? What else? She has a fever. Yuel's mom is really vicious. The Kingren. She was only a few hours late coming home these days, and they locked her outside all night. No wonder she has a fever for days now. Chang Rui, the Kingren suddenly shouted. Chang Rui immediately shut up. I was stunned for a moment. The Kingren has been helping me lately. She works out till 8 or 9 every night just to help me lose weight. The Jiyu family and the family are 2 kilometers apart. She insists on walking home every night. She won't let Jiyu's car drive her. Didn't expect Yi's mom to be so cruel. She wouldn't even let the Kingren into the house. Jiyu Yi, seriously. You're really clueless. How didn't you consider this? I'm just being honest here. Why are you angry? Chang Rui handed medicine to the Kingren, her eyes shifting between me and the Kingren. She sensed something weird between us. I'll go get you some water. You two can keep talking. After saying that, Chang Rui ran off. Looking at the Kingren's pale face, I was full of concern. The auntie treats you like this. Why didn't you tell me? It's got nothing to do with you. How could it not? If I hadn't kept you helping me lose weight, you wouldn't have been kicked out by the auntie. It was my choice. Besides, you paid me. Bottom line, my issues have nothing to do with you. I don't need you to get involved. With that, she turned and walked away. Watching the Kingren's back, I felt guilty. I thought paying the Kingren to help me lose weight would not only build our relationship, but also help improve her life. I thought paying the Kingyan to help me lose weight would not only build our relationship, but also help him improve his life. But I never expected it would only cause him more trouble. I came home in the evening. Mom was surprised to see only me come back. She had set the table for 5. Xiaoyu, how come it's just you? Where's Kingren?
He's sick.
Sick? What happened? Did he get too tired helping you practice? He's been tutoring me these days. Comes back late. The auntie locked him outside, so he got a fever. After I finished, Dad came out of the living room. Mom, Dad, I want to ask you for a favor. My parents exchanged a look when they heard. The sky darkened. The Kingren dragged her heavy body to the doorstep of the family, just in time to run into the Yujan and Yi's mom in the luxury car. Yi's mom was clearly returning with the Yuyan from the hospital. The Yuan's wounds from earlier were still visible on her face. Mom, it was the Kingyan who hit me. Yi's mom glared at the Kingyan. Well, the Kingyan. I kindly raised you, and you hit my daughter. How could you be so cruel? You're just an ungrateful Volf.
Today.
Yi's mom pinched the Kingren's arm while yelling. You hit my daughter, and you still have the nerve to come home? Come with me to the police station. This isn't over? The Kingren frowned slightly. He forcefully shook off Yi's mother. But in return, Yi's mother slapped him. How dare you rebel and fight back? The Kingren's cheek was scratched by Yi's mother's fingernails. Several blood marks were clearly visible. Just then, car headlights shone on the three of them. I saw my parents and myself get out of the car. Soon, two more cars parked nearby. Jiu family's bodyguards and lawyers got out. Yi's mother had never seen such a scene. She was stunned for a moment. Brother Jiu, sister-in-law, your mother rushed in front of the Kingren. She helped her up. Don't call out. I looked at the blood marks on the Kingren's face. My mother spoke angrily. You're honestly too cruel. Yi's mother couldn't laugh anymore. Brother Jiu, sister-in-law, this kid hurt Yuyan in school. I was just too angry. So I disciplined her a bit. Mother glared at Yi's mother. Just too angry, huh? Disciplined her a bit. Before, you shut Kingren out of the house. You made this kid freeze outside all night. Was that just being angry too? Disciplined her a bit. I don't think you're fit to keep raising Kingren. Let us take over and raise Kingren, how about that? What? Before Yi's mother could react, the lawyer stepped forward and handed the documents to Yi's mother. Your actions have already violated the law. If you don't want us to sue, I advise you to just hand her over to us. Yi's mother was stunned. Mom, if they're willing to raise her, let them. Saves us another mouth to feed at home. Yi's mother looked at the papers in front of her. But she wasn't as brainless as the Yuyan. Letting you raise this kid. What do I get out of it? She's ultimately my husband's child from outside. I can't just give her to you for nothing, right? Listening to Yi's mother's words, I couldn't help but sneer. Yi's mother is just like that. She never forgets to grab a profit before doing things. Seeing Dad about to promise Yi's mother some benefit. Your abuse of the Kingren, if it gets public in the circle, it'll only bring harm to the family and you, not benefits. We're actually helping you. Yet you ask us for benefits in return. We don't owe you any benefit. Why not just go through the courts? If it gets to the police station, given your behavior and I'm afraid you might even end up in jail. By then, our Jiu family will still be able to adopt the Kingren. Upon hearing me, Yi's mother looked paler. Mom, sign it. I don't want to see her anyway. Yi's mother felt the same way. But thinking about not getting any benefit, just giving her away for nothing, she felt uncomfortable. Looking at Yi's mother's hesitating expression, I spoke up, Dad. Mom, stop acting like the good guy here. We've done it out of past kindness. But it's up to him if he doesn't want our help. Let's just go straight to the police. No need to waste time here. Seeing that I was really turning to get in the car, Yi's mother panicked immediately. I'll sign. Yi's mother quickly grabbed the pen. Without even checking the contents of the papers, she just signed her name. Not far away I saw this scene, and slightly curled my lips. Take her away then. But please don't call the police. Mother didn't bother with her anymore. She helped the Kingren into the car. I noticed the Kingren had a high fever, and just got slapped by Yi's mother. Now she's almost passed out. I was a little worried. Mom, the Kingren's fever is really bad. We should take her to the hospital first. Yes, to the hospital. Xiao Li, hurry and drive to the hospital. Xiao Li, drive to the hospital quickly. Late at night, inside a hospital ward. My mom and dad went to handle the admission procedures first. I stayed by the Kingren's bedside. The Kingren's fever was already up to 39 degrees. The slap he took was pretty hard. His left cheek was not only red and swollen from the hit, but there were also 3 fresh scratches. After the doctor gave him a basic treatment, half his face finally started to look a bit better. The Kingren, in a daze, grabbed a slender, well-defined hand. This hand was cool and comforting. It seemed to drive out the restlessness in his body. Suddenly, the Kingren's eyes snapped open. I was startled by how abruptly he woke up. You're awake? Seeing the Kingren silent, I reached out to touch his forehead. Still burning up. Your fever is really bad. We're at the hospital now. My parents just went to get you admitted. We'll be able to go home first thing tomorrow morning. Hearing the words go home, the Kingren's eyes dimmed. I continued, go to my house. You'll never have to go back to the family again. Hearing this, the Kingren froze. Obviously, his fever had him all muddled. He wasn't fully conscious yet. What happened earlier outside the family's house, he had no memory of at all. At that moment, my parents walked into the ward. Seeing the Kingren awake, my mother walked over lovingly and spoke. Kingren, just rest well here in the hospital. Tomorrow morning, your Uncle Jiu and I will take you home. I've already called the school to excuse your absence. I've already talked to the school for your leave. Go back to class when you're fully recovered. The Kingren's eyes turned red. Thank you, Auntie. It's nothing. From now on, we're family. Mom patted the Kingren on the head. Dad, Mom, you two can go home first. I'll stay here, it's fine. Tomorrow morning, I'll be able to go straight to school. Mom looked at me, then glanced at the weakened the Kingren. She probably felt it wasn't right to leave him alone in the ward, so she agreed. Dad looked a bit worried. How about I call a caregiver to stay with you? No need. Dad, it's just one night. Just remember to have Uncle Lee pick us up in the morning. Seeing me insist, Dad could only give in. He had no choice but to agree. Once my parents left, I comforted the Kingren, who was still lying in bed. Get some rest early. You won't have to work so hard anymore, or go hungry for dinner, or ever be kicked out of your home again. From today on, we are your family. As he listened to my gentle voice, the Kingren pressed his lips together softly. He slept soundly all night. Next morning, Dad sent the driver early to take the Kingren home. The city central hospital wasn't far from Lincheng High School, so I simply walked to school. As luck would have it, today the Yuyan had her family driver pick up Han Tianhao on the way. I caught sight of them holding hands, right in front of me. I was planning to act like I didn't see it, but Han Tianhao spoke up first. Jiaosu, why are you walking to school today? Han Tianhao held the Yuan's hand, almost as if showing off on purpose. Tianhao held the Yuan's hand and walked up to me like he was flaunting. Zhao Hyo, it must be tiring to walk to school, and you don't live far anyway. Yuyan can pick us up for school from now on. No need, my house isn't on the way to the Yuan's. I ignored them. As the two were about to leave, the Yuyan called out to me. Jiu, Tianhao's just being nice. What's with your attitude? He can be nice, but I don't want it, okay? I walked straight past the two of them. Han Tianhao sounded aggrieved. I was just trying to be nice too. Zhao Yu, did you misunderstand me? I should go make things clear with him. No need to explain to anyone. Tianhao, you're just too kind. Listening to the Yuyan and Han Tianhao talk, I was honestly disgusted. Finally, I stopped in my tracks and walked back up to them. With everyone watching, I took the bottle of water from my backpack and poured it directly on Han Tianhao. When the Yuyan saw Han Tianhao get splashed, she immediately shouted in anger. Jiu, what are you doing? Now you don't need to feel guilty, I said, and then turned and walked away. The Yuyan was about to lash out, but the security guard at the school gate happened by. I was at the school gate, and the security guard at the gate had just shown up. I was right at the school entrance, splashing water at Han Tianhao, and it immediately became the hot topic at school. Even my classmates looked at me. There were just 3 days left before finals. During lunch break, the whole class felt tense. Ever since the Kingren moved in with the GU family, his spirits have been excellent. Even his monthly test scores have been amazingly good. He was always in the top 5 before, but now he's solidly ranked number 1. With the Kingren's help, my grades also stabilized in the top 10. There was a constant buzz in the class about the family. Word was finally out that the family might go bankrupt. Did you guys hear? The family is about to go bankrupt. No way, you're making that up. How could the family go broke? The family's one of the big shots in Lincheng. Seriously, I heard it from my dad. Apparently, before the Yuan's dad passed away, he left behind a lot of debts. The family's business has been in trouble ever since. Honestly, they've been out of money for a while. At this moment, Han Tianhao walked into class. When Han Tianhao walked in, Zhou Kai rushed over, gossiping. Tianhao missed the... Her family's about to go bankrupt. Did you know that? Bankrupt. Yeah, right. Miss Yi's family is about to go bankrupt. Did you know that? Bankrupt. Please. Stop it. Yuan just took me car shopping. She said she'd buy me a Mercedes for my birthday next year, once I'm an adult. If they were going bankrupt, would she be giving me a car? I knew it. How could a family as big as the Yis go bankrupt? Yeah, right. Very soon, the others started looking at Han Tianhao with envy. When they heard the Yuyan was buying Han Tianhao a car, everyone crowded around. It was too noisy for me, so I grabbed a practice test and went out of the classroom. Lately, Ji Yu Ying has had rides to and from school, and no one knows where all that money's come from to drive so many fancy cars. Wasn't he on a poverty scholarship? Or is his family secretly rich and just renting those cars? No way. If he's not the poor student, then who in our grade is? Hearing these discussions, Han Tianhao worried people might suspect him. He pretended to be calm and said, I heard Yu Yi's dad is a driver for a really rich family, and his dad's boss is out of town right now, so he got to be chauffeured around in those luxury cars. So that's how it is. No wonder Jiu Yu used to walk to school. Suddenly, she's getting picked up by a fancy car. Turns out it's her dad picking her up in his boss's car. TCH. I thought Jiu Yu was someone important. Turns out it's all an act. Seeing the other classmates look at me with contempt, Han Tianhao felt a bit flustered. I can't let anyone know. That look of disdain. Han Tianhao felt a bit flustered. I can't let anyone know that I'm the only poor student in the whole 10th grade. Otherwise, the image I've worked so hard for at school will be completely ruined. In the reading corner on the floor, I was diligently doing practice problems. Suddenly, a bottle of milk appeared in front of me. I looked up and saw that it was the Kingren. Aunt Jay asked me to give this to you. I naturally reached out and took the milk. When did my mom give it to you? How come I didn't know about it? Ever since the Kingren came to live with us, we've been going to and from school together every day. I clearly remember that I left home with the Kingren this morning. How could Mom possibly ask the Kingren to give me milk? I quickly guessed that the Kingren bought it with her own savings. I didn't have lunch today. My stomach was already growling loudly. I looked at the bottle of milk, a bit conflicted. I'm on a diet. Drinking milk at noon probably isn't good. You can drink skim milk. Hearing this, I couldn't wait to pop the straw in the milk bottle. The sweet, creamy taste satisfied me completely. Yi Xinyuan, your grades are so good. Why did you go to Class F before? If you were in Class A, we could study together between classes every day. The Kingren was silent for a moment before speaking. You want me to go to Class A? I nodded as I drank the milk. Of course. The Kingren didn't say anything. Seeing he didn't answer, I thought he didn't want to go back to Class A. When facing the Yuyan, I was just saying that. If you don't want to go back to Class A, that's fine. I'll try. Hearing that, I was just saying whatever. If you don't want to return to Class A, then don't. I'll try my best. I was stunned when I heard that. I'll do my best to find a way to get back to Class A. Really? Honestly, I hadn't even had time to be happy yet. The bell for the end of the lunch break rang. The Kingren packed up the books in front of me. Smiling, he spoke. Class is starting. Let's go back to do some practice questions. I nodded. When I returned to the classroom, I saw Han Tianhao bragging to the other students again. The Yuyan bought him some expensive gift. When Han Tianhao's gaze landed on me, there was a clear look of provocation in his eyes. I ignored him. Han Tianhao is so proud right now, but someday he'll regret it just as much. Usually you can't tell anything. But when the final exams come around, Han Tianhao will realize how much coursework he's fallen behind on. In the blink of an eye, the finals arrived 3 days later. Based on the last monthly exam scores, along with the Kingren, the Yuyan and Han Tianhao were assigned to the same exam room. This test was a bit harder than the previous monthly exam. I handled it with ease. I finished the test 20 minutes early, but Han Tianhao wasn't in such a good state. After the exam, I saw Han Tianhao looking pale. Han Tianhao used to be the class heartthrob. His grades were excellent too. So, the classmates all wanted to be friends with Han Tianhao. At this moment, everyone is just like usual, comparing their answers to Han Tianhao's. If it were a normal day, Han Tianhao would be just like usual, comparing their answers with him. If it were a normal day, Han Tianhao would patiently go over answers with everyone. But this time, Han Tianhao got up early. I'm not feeling well. I'm going to the restroom. Seeing Han Tianhao feeling unwell, the Yuyan nervously stepped forward to ask about his situation. I looked at Han Tianhao and knew I was right. This time's final exam, Han Tianhao probably didn't do too well. 3 days later, the final exam results were announced. The Kingren shot straight to first place in the grade. With the Kingren's tutoring, I made it to third place. Han Tianhao, who used to be near the top, fell out of the top 50 in the grade. The Yuan's ranking also slipped down to 20th. On the podium, the homeroom teacher's gaze fell on Han Tianhao. Their tone got a bit colder. Han Tianhao, call your parent to come by before you leave at noon. Han Tianhao's face went pale at those words. Teacher, my dad is usually really busy. He might not have time to come over. What about your mother? When the homeroom teacher mentioned his mother, Han Tianhao looked even more uncomfortable. Seeing Han Tianhao not speaking, others didn't know what was happening. But I did. Han Fu and Han Tianhao's mother divorced long ago. Han Fu has been raising Han Tianhao alone ever since. But now, in front of classmates and teachers, Han Tianhao obviously can't say. His parents are divorced. The homeroom teacher saw Han Tianhao wasn't talking and was a bit helpless. Han Tianhao, your grades have dropped so much. No matter if your parent is busy or not, they must come by at noon. After saying that, the teacher started assigning summer homework, giving Han Tianhao no chance to make excuses. Han Tianhao thought about his driver father coming to the school and felt anxious. If all the classmates found out, he would end up exposed for sure. At noon, all the other students had packed up and were heading home for summer break. But Zhou Kai and a few others stayed behind. The Yuyan insisted on staying by Han Tianhao's side. This made Han Tianhao even more anxious. Han Tianhao informed Han Fu that the time to come to school was 12:30. He just wanted the Yuyan and the other classmates to leave first, so no one would discover his father's identity later on. But what he didn't expect was, the Yuyan was worried about him, so she insisted on waiting until the teacher finished, scolding him before leaving. Zhou Kai and a few others stayed for the same reason, wanting to comfort Han Tianhao. But they had no idea. Han Tianhao didn't need comforting right now. He only needed them to hurry up and leave, otherwise his huge lie would be exposed. On purpose, I dragged my feet, slowly packing up the practice questions in my desk. Outside the door, the Kingren saw only the Yuyan and her group, so he came in. The Kingren walked over to my side, ready to help me pack my bag. But I packed my bag myself and held down the Kingren's hand, giving him a look. After spending time together at the Jiu house, the Kingren quickly understood what I wanted to do. He simply pulled up a chair and sat nearby. Didn't you say you couldn't solve a question today? I'll teach you now. I was just struggling to find an excuse to stay in the classroom and watch the drama. Seeing the Kingren giving me such a perfect reason, I quickly pulled out the practice questions, randomly pointed at one. This question right here. The Kingren took the textbook and looked at it slowly. Meanwhile, Han Tianhao, sitting not far away, was already beside himself with anxiety. The Yuyan and Zhou Kai didn't leave, Fine. But why did Jiu and the Kingren also stay? Seeing the clock hands in the classroom pointing to 3, Han Tianhao finally couldn't hold back his emotions and spoke up. Yuyan, Zhou Kai, you guys go home first. I can handle it by myself. No way, I'm staying right here with you. If that old lady Li dares to bully you, I won't let her get away with it. Yeah, Tianhao, we're all here. Don't be afraid. It's just a slight drop in your grades. Do they really need to call your parents? Seeing Zhou Kai and the others refuse to leave, Han Tianhao could only try to persuade the Yuyan first. Yuyan, you should go home first. My dad doesn't support early dating. I'm afraid he'll be mad if he sees you. Alright, but remember to message me after you get home. Han Tianhao nodded. Right now, he couldn't wait for the Yuyan to leave as soon as possible. As she was leaving, the Yuyan still wasn't at ease, and asked Zhou Kai and the others to look after Han Tianhao. Seeing the Yuan's care for Han Tianhao, Zhou Kai and the others all looked jealous. While Zhou Kai saw me working on questions at the front, pretending not to hear, he deliberately said, Miss Thi is really good to our Tianhao. I heard Miss Thi is already planning a proposal. Tianhao, your Han family is a big business. You're probably going to get engaged after graduation, right? I don't really know. How can you not know? Miss Yi loves you so much. She'd never let you study abroad alone. Maybe the family will officially make the proposal first. Our Tianhao is handsome, with a great personality, and is the young master of the Han family. She's the perfect match for Miss The. Miss The, how could you bear to let our Tianhao study abroad alone? She'd definitely join you in the future. Looking at everyone's expectant faces, Han Tianhao also seemed to see himself marrying into a wealthy family down the road. Hearing all this, I couldn't help but sneer inside. 3 years after graduating high school, we had a high school reunion. By then, Han Tianhao had already returned from studying overseas and was with a wealthy foreign woman. The two of them got engaged quickly. The Yuyan was there too. When she heard that Han Tianhao was engaged, the Yuyan didn't care about saving my face at all, and her eyes turned red on the spot. She even chased after Han Tianhao out of the room, her eyes red. And she kept chasing after Han Tianhao outside, wanting to talk to him alone. But at that time, I was already the Yuan's husband. Because of what the Yuan did, I made a complete fool of myself at the reunion. Afterwards, the family became more and more successful, and the Yuan became one of the top business leaders in Lincheng. It was also around that time that Han Tianhao's wife's business failed, and she committed suicide by jumping off a building. Only then did he return to China to rekindle his relationship with the Yuyan. And for the Yuyan to divorce me smoothly, she had me locked up in a mental hospital. Thinking about everything from my past life, the pencil in my hand suddenly snapped. The Kingren looked at me silently, and my movement caught the attention of Zhou Kai and the others. Looks like someone can't handle this anymore. Our Tianhao is destined for a life of riches. Jiu, you don't be jealous. If you were born into a wealthy family in your next life, maybe Miss The would be interested in you. Everyone around me made fun of me without holding back at all. But the Kingren couldn't stand it any longer. He immediately stood up and walked over to Zhou Kai. He kicked Zhou Kai's desk. The rowdy classmates from before suddenly fell silent. At that moment, a middle-aged man's voice came from outside the classroom. Is this class 1? The middle-aged man looked about 40-something, with a well-proportioned build, but a somewhat aged face, and a few strands of graying hair. He was dressed like a driver, and his sneakers were already a bit worn out. His hands were even rougher. If I'm not mistaken, the man in front of me it's even rougher. If I'm not mistaken, the person in front of me is Han Tianhao's father. Han Tianhao didn't expect Han Fu to come so quickly. Before he could figure out what to say, Zhou Kai next to him spoke up in confusion. Who are you? The other classmates were all sizing up Han Fu. Han Fu gave an honest smile. I'm Han, the driver for our family. Han Tianhao almost blurted it out in panic. He hurried over to Hanfu's side. Under those confused and suspicious looks,
He said Dad is busy.
he didn't have time, so he sent our driver over. So he's just Han's family driver. I knew Mr. Han wouldn't dress like that. Makes sense. Tianhao's dad is the president of Han Group after all. He's busy every single day. How could he possibly make time to come to school? Zhou Kai and the others kept chiming in, making Han Tianhao feel extremely embarrassed with his smile. But Han Fu at his side clearly understood. His son was bragging in front of classmates, pretending to be the young master of the Han family. He tugged at Han Tianhao. Tianhao, how could you be so disrespectful? Who allowed you to call me by name? You're just a driver in the Han family. If you show me disrespect again, I'll kick you out of the Han family. Exactly, just a small-time driver, daring to touch the boss's son like that, without even knowing your place. Han Fu's expression grew ugly, and Han Tianhao was afraid to stay any longer, or his real status would be exposed. And Han Tianhao was afraid to stay any longer, in case his secret of not being the young master was revealed. So he immediately tried to push Han Fu out. The teacher is waiting for you in the office. Hurry up and go. Seeing his son looking anxious, Han Fu immediately understood. His son was scared of being exposed in front of the class. Even though Han Fu disapproved of what Han Tianhao did, for the sake of his son doing well in school, he just nodded and left humbly, bowing slightly as he walked away. Zhou Kai spoke up, dissatisfied. Your family's driver really doesn't have any manners. At all. He must think that just because he's worked for the Hans for so long, he can act all high and mighty. Listening to his classmates, expressing their disdain and scorn for his father, Han Tianhao forced a very awkward smile. Meanwhile, I was pretending to do homework next to them, with a gossipy grin on my face. What are you laughing at? It's funny. You wouldn't get it. But I figure you'll understand in the future. Looking at Han Tianhao's anxious expression, when he was scared of being exposed, I felt pretty satisfied inside. I wonder when Han Tianhao's lies finally catch up to him, how he'll handle it. Half an hour passed. Han Fu came out of the office with a dark expression. When Han Tianhao saw Han Fu's face, he turned pale. But Zhou Kai and the others were still with him. Han Tianhao had to force himself to act calm, and walked up to Han Fu. Is everything settled? If it is, let's hurry up and go. Right now, he just wanted to get Han Fu out of there. But Zhou Kai in the class unexpectedly stepped forward, wanting to take Han Fu away. But Zhou Kai in class actually came forward at this moment. Uncle Driver, Tianhao just didn't do well on his exam this time. In front of your boss, you should know how to talk, right? Han Fu said nothing. Zhou Kai thought Han Fu was being rude, so he spoke up immediately. Miss The told us to take good care of Tianhao. If you dare tell anyone about this, forget about us. Even Miss The won't spare you. Zhou Kai was convinced his threat worked. Meanwhile, I almost couldn't help but laugh out loud in the classroom. This is great. Not only are his grades slipping, but now his parent got called in. Tianhao really has no way to explain himself now. He hurriedly tried to get Han Fu to leave with him. All right, I need to hurry home. Go drive the car now. At this point, Han Fu was struggling to hold back his anger. He suddenly pushed Han Tianhao aside and slapped him across the face. That slap made half of Han Tianhao's face burn with pain. Zhou Kai immediately got mad. Are you crazy? Tianhao is the young master. You're just a driver. Who gave you the guts to hit Tianhao? Because I am enough. Han Fu was caught off guard and staggered back several steps. Han Tianhao arrogantly raised his chin, his tone full of threats. This is a school. You dare hit me in front of all these classmates? I know my dad gave you permission to hit me, but you're still just a driver in our family. Don't think you can actually. I know my dad gave you the right to hit me, but you're still just our family's driver. Don't think you can really try to teach me a lesson. Now go drive the car. Or do you want to stand here and let everyone laugh at our Han family? Every word Han Tianhao said was reminding Han Fu. This is a school, with classmates all around. Seeing this, even filled with anger, Han Fu could only stomp off in frustration. In the classroom, I craned my neck, trying to see what was happening outside. The Kingran, though, grabbed all my worksheets and put them in my backpack. When I finally came to, I realized my desk was already neat and tidy. The Kingran tapped me on the head. Show's over. Let's go home. The two of us left the classroom one after the other. Summer break was here. The Kingran made a special summer schedule for me. After more than 2 months of hard work, I'd finally slimmed down to 130 pounds. Summer is the best time to sprint forward. August summer vacation is almost over. That day, our class group chat suddenly blew up. I saw in the class group, Han Tianhao was enthusiastically inviting everybody to go chill out at the summer villa. Everyone got interested when they heard about the resort. And they all got excited. When I saw the message, I couldn't help but smile. Clearly, Han Tianhao was worried that what happened last time with Han Fu at school would make everyone question who he is. So he found this chance to prove he's the Han family's young master. And the way he worded it was clever. He only said he was inviting everyone to the summer villa, without saying it was his family's place. That way, he avoided a lot of hassles later. I rolled over in bed, thinking the resort was his family's. That would have brought on a lot of trouble later. I rolled over in bed and headed over to the Kingran's room next door. I didn't knock. When I pushed the door open, the Kingran was sitting by the window reading. I grinned and asked the Kingran, "Are you free the day after tomorrow?" "Why?" Our classmate Han Tianhao said. "He's inviting the class to the summer villa. Want to come with me?" When she heard the 3 words Han Tianhao, the Kingran's smile vanished. "No, I'm not going." "Really not going?" There's going to be some drama. I'm not even in Class A. Be careful on your way. If the Kingran isn't interested, then I won't force it either. Just as I was about to turn and leave, the Kingran suddenly spoke up. "Give me the address." "You changed your mind, didn't you?" "If it's too late, I'll ask Uncle Lee to pick you up." Hearing this, I nodded. "All right, got it." I wanted to drag the Kingran along to watch the show. Didn't expect he had 0 interest. So I guess I'll just go alone. The day after tomorrow finally arrived. The summer villa is in the mountains on the outskirts of town. They call it a villa, but it's actually just a big house with a yard. At this moment, the rest of the class had already shown up. Han Tianhao was wearing his usual loungewear, as if he lived here long term. He invited his classmates into the living room. "Help yourselves, make yourselves at home." It was the first time Zhou Kai and the others had seen such a huge house, and they were so stunned they couldn't even speak. "Tianhao, your house is huge." "Yeah, Tianhao. Don't you guys usually not live here?" "This is just too extravagant." Everyone was amazed and kept exclaiming. Even though lots of families in Class A are rich, at most they live in luxury apartments or small villas in the suburbs. But they're nothing compared to the Han family's place. Han Tianhao just smiled and didn't say anything. He kept quiet. "All right, Tianhao. Where's Miss Thi? Why didn't Miss Thi come with you?" Han Tianhao put his hands in his pockets. "Yuyan will be here soon. Let's just hang out for now." "Is everyone here?" "Feels like someone's missing." "Is it Jiuyu?" "Jiuyu hasn't arrived yet. Maybe she's too embarrassed to come." "Not necessarily. She liked Miss Thi for 2 years. No way she'd let go of any chance to get close to her." All around me, I heard people mocking and laughing at me. Just then, the doorbell outside rang. Zhou Kai was the first to get up. "It has to be Miss the... I'll get the door." Zhou Kai volunteered to open the door, but the moment he opened it, he saw a strikingly handsome guy. Zhou Kai froze for a second. "Who are you?" "I'm Jiuyu." Han Tianhao came over when he heard the voice. "Zhou Kai, why are you so slow?" Even though Zhou Kai is his best friend, he's still worried he might try to hit on Miss The. But as Han Tianhao walked over, He noticed my handsome face. He was stunned for a moment. He didn't recognize who I was right away. So I took the initiative to speak. Tianhao, you forgot about me so quickly? Look at me standing right here. The smile on Han Tianhao's face froze instantly. I glanced inside. Aren't you going to invite me in? Seeing that Han Tianhao and Zhou Kai both stayed silent, I simply wheeled my suitcase right in myself. By the time Han Tianhao and Zhou Kai reacted, I was already standing in the living room. The girls in our class had just been laughing and chatting, but as soon as they looked up, they saw a good-looking guy walking in with a suitcase. A few of the girls were completely stunned. When did our class get such a good-looking guy? Han Tianhao ran in after me. Jiu. When everyone heard Han Tianhao call this handsome guy Jiu, someone was surprised. You're saying this is Jiu? Are you kidding me? How could he possibly be Jiu? None of the classmates believed it at first, but after looking at my face closely, they realized my features were faintly familiar from before. Jiu is Jiu. When everyone saw how much weight I lost, their faces were all full of amazement. Only Han Tianhao looked upset in the whole group. He never expected that in a single summer, I would lose all that weight. If the Yuan saw Jiu like this, would he see Jiu differently too? It's been so long, everyone. My parents were on a business trip recently, so I specially prepared some gifts for everyone. Hope you all like them. Saying that, I opened up my suitcase. Inside, it was packed with imported goods. There were imported watches filling the suitcase, expensive electronics, and some finely crafted branded jewelry. After seeing all these, my classmates nearly ran straight over. Wow, these are all high-end brand watches. Jiu Yi, your parents went overseas on a business trip. Isn't this bracelet a limited edition? I heard it's really expensive. And this game console costs thousands. No one even remembered that today was supposed to be Han Tianhao's event. Looking at a suitcase full of stuff worth 6 figures, Han Tianhao's face got even darker. I glanced over at Han Tianhao and Zhou Kai. Tianhao, Zhou Kai, you guys should pick something for yourselves too. When Zhou Kai first saw what was inside, his eyes lit up. But then he remembered that Han Tianhao had said that my dad was just a driver, and that my family didn't have much money. How could they bring back such expensive gifts just from a business trip? Zhou Kai said dismissively. What's there to choose from? They're probably all high-quality fakes. Come on, Zhou Kai, she is just being nice. Why are you talking nonsense? This is clearly genuine. There's no way it's fake. It even has foreign writing and anti-counterfeit labels. Zhou Kai, you shouldn't accuse people like that. The group's attitude changed so quickly. Zhou Kai started to get tempted. And by then, I had already sat down on the couch nearby. I watched everyone happily pick out gifts. Han Tianhao still didn't come over, so I smiled and spoke up. Tianhao, is this summer villa your family's? It looks huge. My question seemed simple, but it put Han Tianhao in a tough spot. Because this summer villa isn't actually his. It's just a Han family villa they rarely use. This time, he only got the key, because the whole Han family went overseas for vacation. So his driver dad asked the housekeeper at home to borrow the key. Right now, everyone was staring at Han Tianhao alone. All eyes were on him, especially since I just handed out a bunch of pricey gifts. Han Tianhao finally forced himself to speak. Yeah, it's my family's. Such a big villa. How come there's not a single housekeeper? My next question left Han Tianhao speechless. Just getting the key to this villa was already hard enough. How would he get a housekeeper too? The other classmates thought it was strange too. Yeah, Tianhao. Not only is there no housekeeper, there's not even a security guard. Who usually manages a villa this big? Han Tianhao quickly improvised. That's because everyone was coming over, so I gave them all the day off. I didn't want them to ruin everyone's mood. When Han Tianhao found that excuse, I pretended to make things difficult. But we're all still hungry. with no housekeeper. Who's going to cook for us? Of course, I'll cook for everyone myself. Han Tianhao was still pretty confident in his cooking. When everyone had no complaints, I squinted and continued. Tianhao, you cooking for us? That's just perfect. I heard that in big families like yours, I heard big companies like the Han family eat luxury dishes every day. Sea cucumber and abalone, imported wagyu beef, and foie gras. I've always wanted to try them. Tianhao, since we came all the way here, I'm sure you prepared all of these for us, right? Sea cucumber, abalone beef, foie gras. Where do you even get those? Before Han Tianhao could answer, other classmates started chiming in. Yeah, Tianhao, if you can bring us all these gifts, we'd really like to taste those fancy dishes too. You're not being stingy, are you? Come on, don't talk nonsense. Tianhao is the young master of the Han family. It's just one meal. How could he be stingy about it? It's not like those are rare at all. Am I right, Tianhao? Hearing that, Han Tianhao's face went pale. All he prepared was some barbecue skewers this time. He was planning to grill them outdoors in the evening. But now that I've hyped him up so much, how could he respond? Seeing Han Tianhao didn't talk, I just stood up. I'm sure Tianhao has got it covered. Let me go see. What kind of good food is ready in the kitchen? With that, I started walking toward the kitchen. Seeing that, Han Tianhao stopped me immediately. He forced a smile. You all came such a long way. Of course I'm prepared. But the ingredients are still on the way. If we're going to eat, we should eat the freshest, right? Don't you all agree? All the classmates nodded, excited for a big meal. Everyone nodded. I just raised my eyebrows. Where would you even get fresh seafood in the middle of the mountains? It's obvious Han Tianhao wasn't prepared. I wanted to see how he'd get out of this. While everyone was distracted, how would Han Tianhao get out of this? While everyone was distracted, Han Tianhao slipped outside the courtyard. He quickly called the Yuyan on his phone. On the other end, the Yuyan sounded annoyed. What is it, Yuan? When you come over in a bit, could you bring some abalone or sea cucumber or something? Abalone and sea cucumber? You didn't prepare any ingredients? The others suddenly said they want to eat abalone and sea cucumber. There's also wagyu beef and foie gras. I don't know where to find them, so the Yuyan fell silent for a moment. I'll figure something out. When he heard this, Han Tianhao's eyes flashed with delight. Thank you, Yuyan. If it weren't for you, I really wouldn't know what to do. Han Tianhao was only focused on dispelling everyone's doubts. He didn't notice the Yuan's abnormal mood at all. Meanwhile, not far away, I leaned against the door. Looking at the yard, I watched Han Tianhao secretly call the Yuyan. I couldn't help but raise an eyebrow and smile. I thought Han Tianhao had come up with some great idea. Turns out he's asking the Yuyan for help. Things are different now. GU Group has withdrawn its investment. The family is on the brink of collapse. The family no longer has enough money to support the Yuyan in taking care of Han Tianyu. Just then my phone started ringing. I looked at the caller ID. I couldn't help but curl my lips into a smile. I didn't expect even fate to help me. I answered the call. Zhao Wu, are you free today? Is Aunt looking for me about something? Auntie really misses you. Today Auntie wants to invite you for a meal. I wonder if you could come over to the house for a bit. Hearing Auntie's tone, Auntie wants to invite you for a meal. Do you think you could come over to the house for a bit? Listening to Auntie's tone, I instantly knew what was on her mind. I glanced at Han Tianhao, who was still waiting for the Yuyan in the yard. Is the Yuyan going to be there too? Of course she will. Yuyan really wants to see you too. She offended you before, and has been feeling guilty about it. Today I'm asking her to apologize to you. Alright, then I'll see you in a bit. Actually, I have something to do tonight. Let's set lunch for midday then. I'll be there soon. Is it inconvenient for you, Auntie? If so, we can just forget it. No, it's not inconvenient at all. It's really no trouble at all. Auntie will cook for you right away and wait for you to come over. All right, I hung up the phone. I couldn't help but sneer to myself. Auntie has always loved money more than anything. She's the best at scheming. This time she's urgently asking me to come over. So something big must have happened to the family. I'm not in a hurry either. I turned and headed back to the living room. Seeing it's almost noon, everyone was getting hungry. Han Tianhao kept looking outside, waiting for the Yuyan to bring him the ingredients. Someone finally couldn't help but speak up. Tinhao, I'm starving here. When are we going to eat? Yeah, it's almost noon. Are we even going to have a feast today? People around were beginning to complain. Han Tianhao hurried to reassure them. Soon. It'll definitely be soon. Let me call and ask again. Han Tianhao took out his phone and immediately dialed the Yuyan's number. But the line was busy the whole time, and no one picked up. Seeing this, Han Tianhao's expression grew gloomier. I thought the timing was just right, so... Seeing this, Han Tianhao's expression became even darker. I figured the time was just about right. So I stood up and smiled. I doubt he'll be able to make it. I have some things to take care of at home. I'm going to head out first. Enjoy yourselves. As for me, my words instantly stirred up the emotions of the other classmates. They've already been here for several hours and haven't even had a sip of hot tea. Han Tianhao tried to stop me, but I was already picking up my suitcase. I waved goodbye to the other classmates. Just then, a luxury car stopped outside the door. Everyone assumed lunch had finally arrived. But to their surprise, it was the Kingren who stepped out of the car. The Kingren walked up to me, holding a parasol. Under the sunlight, the Kingren and I seemed like the perfect pair. The classmates all craned their necks to look. Why would the Kingren personally come to pick up Jiu Yu? Are they dating or something? No clue. But looking at Jiu Yu's family situation, he doesn't seem like a poor student. How could he possibly be poor? Jiu Yu casually gave away a watch, and it's always 5 digits at least. The chatter among the classmates was nonstop. Even Zhou Kai started to doubt my identity. He felt that Jiu Yu didn't really seem like the son of a driver. Tianhao, maybe you got it wrong? Yeah, look carefully. Jiu Yu actually looks pretty handsome now that he's slimmed down. What do you mean, pretty handsome? He's extremely handsome, alright? The noisy comments from a few classmates made Han Tianhao extremely uncomfortable. He lowered his head and glanced at his phone. He couldn't understand why the Yuyan wasn't answering his calls. Completely unaware that inside the family at that moment, the Yuyan was sitting in the living room, staring at the phone on the table. Completely unaware that inside the family at that moment, the Yuyan was sitting in the living room, staring at the cell phone on the table. Yi's mother has reheated the food countless times already. She spoke coldly. Jiao Su will come over later, so you better watch yourself, and watch your attitude. Only Jiu she deserves to be the family's son-in-law. Yi's mother grabbed the Yuan's phone from the table, and took another look at the things she secretly carried off from home, like those lobsters and abalone and sea cucumbers. She coldly remarked, "That little boyfriend of yours, you'd better break up with him soon." Hearing this, the Yuan's face turned gloomy. Don't talk about him that way. Good guy. He's just after our family's money, so he wants to marry up. I've seen plenty of men like that. Only you would like that kind of person. Our family is already at a dead end. The GU family pulled their investment, and your father's business is about to fall apart. If you still want to be the family heiress, you'd better work hard to please Jiu Yi. Marrying him as soon as possible is the right move. Just as Yi's mother was lecturing the Yuyan, a knocking sound came from outside the door. Yi's mother quickly fixed her posture, put on a smile, and walked to the door. But who knew, when she opened the door, it wasn't me she saw, but her husband's secretary. You are... I'm really sorry. Our young master had something urgent come up and can't make it. So he sent me specifically to inform you. What do you mean he can't make it? Hearing I can't make it, the Yuyan's anger was instantly ignited. We've been waiting at home. Why can't he come? Hearing I can't make it. The Yuan's anger was instantly ignited. We've been waiting at home for hours. The food has been reheated 3 times. It's way past the agreed time, and the son-in-law only sent a butler, just to say he can't make it. This is clearly meant to mess with us. The Yuyan stood up and rushed straight out of the house. The Yuyan, where are you going? Come back right now. The Yuyan ignored the nightfall and got into the car, stepping hard on the gas pedal. She drove straight toward the Jiyu family. At that moment, the Kinggran and I were having lunch at home. Suddenly, the Yuyan's voice called out from outside the door. Jiyu-yan, open the door for me. My parents were both at work at that moment, so only the Kinggran and I were home. The two of us, I walked to the window and took a glance outside the Jiyu family villa, seeing the Yuyan storming with rage. I couldn't help but arch my eyebrow and smile. I clearly remember, in my lost life, when the family was powerful, the Jiyu family was the first one targeted by them. It resulted in the Jiyu family's business plummeting. Back then, my parents wanted to meet with the Yuyan, but were rejected at the door. Now she finally gets to experience the disdain and humiliation my parents endured in the past. Jiyu, I know you're in there. Open the door for me. The Yuyan was furious. Meanwhile, the Kinggran had already walked to the landline in the living room and pressed a button to call the Jiyu family's security. Someone's making trouble. Please get rid of them. He hung up the phone and went back to his seat at the dining table. Sit down and eat. I looked outside and saw 2 Jiyu family security guards had already grabbed the Yuyan by both arms. The Yuyan tried hard to resist, but was still shoved to the ground. The security guards impatiently said, "Go, go, go. Hurry up and leave. Don't cause trouble here. I'm looking for Yuyan. Tell Jiyu to come out and meet me. If you don't leave, we'll call the police." The Yuyan has never been humiliated like this. She looked extremely upset. "I'm the family heiress. Who gave you the guts to treat the family like this? The family isn't even worthy to shine our Jiyu family's shoes. Besides, your family is about to go bankrupt, don't you know? Miss Heiress, huh? In a few days, you'll be out in the cold." Word about the family's problems has already spread in the social circle. All the security guards working in the villa area pretty much know everything. The Yuan's face grew grim. "You're talking nonsense. Looks like Miss the Still doesn't know. The family owed lots of debts outside, and tons of cooperation projects. If it weren't for our chairman Jiyu holding it together, they would have been bankrupt long ago. The family was the one to bite the hand that fed you. How dare you even show your face here? Young master, just getting thrown out is already saving your face." The security guard's words were like rubbing the Yuyan's pride in the dirt. She thought about what Yi's mother had told her earlier, that the family was at the end of the road. She originally thought her mother was just trying to make her marry me, so she exaggerated the family's situation. She didn't expect it would actually turn out to be true. I suggest you save your energy. Instead of coming to see our young master, maybe you should think about how to keep your position as the family heiress. After saying that, the 2 security guards slammed shut the iron gate outside the Jiyu residence. The Yuyan squeezed her fist tightly. "Well played, Jiyu. Well played, Jiyu family. They really went all out this time." Feeling indignant, the Yuyan jumped into her car and drove off. Watching her take off in her car, I couldn't help but feel a rush of satisfaction. This level of humiliation is unbearable. The tough days ahead are still yet to come. When my parents came home that evening, the Yuyan actually had the nerve to come to our house and cause trouble. I comforted my dad from the side. "Don't be upset. If you're not happy with it, next time we'll just hang a sign at our door that says the Yuyan and dogs not allowed." Upon hearing that, Dad's expression softened a bit. "You brat. All you know is to fool around. But honestly, the family is just too much. How can they act like this? And to think I used to treat the Yuyan so well. But the Yuyan turned out to be such an ungrateful backstabber. Seeing that the mood was just right, I spoke up to ask, Mom, Dad, I remember that uncle the once bought some of our family's shares. Our family also owns shares in the family, right? That's right, that's how it is. I heard from my classmates that the family has been struggling recently. I figured since our families are no longer connected, why not contact a layer and buy back the GU family shares the family is holding? It's kind of a way to help them out too. But at the same time, our GU family, that's right, the shares we own in the family should also be given back to us. I know very well my dad is soft-hearted, even though right now he has set his mind on not helping the family. There's no guarantee he won't change his mind later. Plus, with the family holding GU shares, they're able to get 8-figure dividends from us every month. That really gives the family a chance to catch their breath. But what I want is for the family to have no way to make a comeback. I want them to experience what it's like to be dirt poor. As expected, Dad thought it over carefully. You're right. Since our families are no longer connected, we need to settle business matters. Seeing Dad agree, I finally felt a weight lifted off my chest. If something happens to the family in the future, I can't just let all of Dad's investment in the family go to waste. If we can get our money back for the shares now, it's really the best way to cut our losses. Plus, it helps draw a clearer line between us and the family. Besides, I remember the family's crisis in my previous life was more than just bankruptcy. It was mostly about heavy debt. But back then, I had already married the Yuyan, and the GU and the families still held shares in each other. Our GU family had no choice but to spend a fortune to save the family from trouble. But this time around, the Yuan can only rely on herself. At dinner, the Kingren stayed silent the whole time. I noticed he seemed a bit down. He rarely ever shows this kind of expression. The Kingren, are you upset? Do you care about the family? You care about concerned about the family. Concerned about the family. In a sense, actually, I am quite concerned. But what I'm concerned about is when the family will go bankrupt. When the Yuyan will finally lose everything. I just can't speak my true thoughts aloud. I looked at him in confusion. Why did you suddenly say that? Are you concerned about the family? Or are you concerned about the Yuyan? Looking at the Kingren's serious expression, I suddenly burst out laughing. I don't care about the family. I don't care about the Yuan either. I'm concerned about our GU family not getting dragged into trouble, not getting cheated out of money. Don't worry. I know the family treated you badly before, so there's no way I would pity them. The Kingrong, I'm always on your side. When he heard what I said, the Kingren was stunned. It took him a long time to react. You're always on my side? Yeah. Then what about the Yuyan? What does she have to do with me? You really liked her before. Like you said, that was before. People should always look forward. I did like her before, but now I don't anymore. So who do you like now? I like my family and myself. Just as the Kingren lowered his gaze, I walked up to the Kingren and grabbed his hand. Of course, you're also my family. With just one sentence, the Kingren suddenly felt his heart skip a beat. Family, but he doesn't want to be my family. At the same time, at the summer villa, Han Tianhao was cleaning up the mess alone. Not only did all the classmates leave in the afternoon, not only did all the classmates leave in the afternoon, but also because the Yuyan didn't show up, he lost face in front of everyone. Even Zhou Kai found an excuse to leave at night. The more Han Tianhao thought about it, the worse he felt. He took out his phone and stubbornly kept calling the Yuyan. But unlike before, this time the Yuyan answered the call. Tianhao. Han Tianhao did not notice the exhaustion in the Mengyao's voice. Instead, he spoke angrily. The Mengyao, you haven't answered my calls all day. What have you been doing? Do you know? You made me lose face in front of our classmates. But this time, the Yuyan on the other end of the call didn't say a word for a long time. Han Tianhao's heart sank. After realizing something was wrong,
He quickly calmed himself down.
Yuyan, I'm sorry. I just got too angry. I didn't really want to break up with you. Are you okay? There was a long silence on the other end. Finally, the Yuan's weary voice came through. Tianhao, let's cool off for a few days. On the other end, the Yuan hung up the phone. That made Han Tianhao's face darken instantly. It's only been one day. So what happened? The next day, news about the Yuan and Han Tianhao arguing. The next day, news about the Yuan and Han Tianhao arguing was already known to the whole class. Han Tianhao, who was usually active in the class group, didn't say a word all day. I'm not surprised by the outcome. And right now for me, studying is more important than gossip. In the evening, my father came home with a worried look. Mom looked anxious. Was something wrong at the company today? Why do you look so worried? The family came by again wanting to see me today. I turned them down. Last night, Xiao Yu talked about selling and retrieving shares. I still don't know how to bring it up with them. After all, it's over 10 years of friendship. In my previous life, Yi's mother figured out that my dad is too soft-hearted, so she kept asking the Jiyu family for help over and over. And in the end, if we Jiyu family didn't help, we'd end up with a reputation for being cold and heartless, even worse than animals. At this point, I spoke up, Dad. Why not let me and the lawyer handle this? What does a kid like you know about selling and retrieving shares? I'm not a kid anymore. I may not understand shares, but the lawyer does. I'm just going to persuade Aunt Thea to return our shares. I promise I'll behave. Seeing how serious I was, Dad took a deep breath. All right, you can give it a try. Dad took a deep breath. All right, you can give it a try. It's okay if we lose a little money. Just don't let people say we're too heartless. I couldn't help but mock myself in my mind. How could anyone say the Jiyu family is heartless? We've helped the family plenty over the years. But the family are all ungrateful. They don't deserve the Jiyu family's kindness. This time, I'll make sure the family loses everything, even their dowry. And then it'll be over. The next day, I took the lawyer to their house. Nightfall. Irritated because of the stock market crash lately, when the doorbell rang, they thought it was the debt collectors. She impatiently opened the door, knocking so early in the morning. I told you I'd pay back the money. Just as Aunt Thea finished speaking, she looked up and saw me. You're Aunt Thea. I'm Jiyu. When she realized it was me, Aunt Thea nearly couldn't close her mouth in surprise. It's only been a few months. How did fat Jiyu you from before change so much? Xiao Yu, it really is you. I was held up last time, so I made a point to visit this time. Aunt Thea, I hope you're not mad at me. Aunt Thea smiled so widely she could barely contain it. How could Auntie ever be mad at you? Come in, come in. Xiao Yu, you're getting more handsome every day. Auntie almost didn't recognize you. As she spoke, Aunt Thea warmly welcomed me in. Xiao Yu, are you here to see Yu Zhang this time? I'll call him right now and have him come home. Who knows where the kid went to play? I'll have to lecture him when he gets home. Aunt Thea happily made tea for me. No need to trouble yourself, Auntie. Play for a while. I'll have to lecture him when he gets home. Aunt Thea happily made tea for me. No need to trouble yourself, Auntie. I'm not here for the Yuyan this time. I'm here to see you, Auntie. See me? I glanced at the lawyer beside me. This is our Jiyu family's lawyer. We came here today to discuss the purchase of shares with you. Purchase of shares? Aunt Yi's heart skipped a beat, afraid I was trying to take their money. My father heard the family has been under a lot of pressure lately, and remembered that the family still held shares in the Jiyu family. So he especially asked me to bring the lawyer over to buy Yi's shares in the Jiyu family at a high price and help them out of trouble. My words sounded nice, but the real meaning was a clean break. Mrs. Yi's mental hesitation. Right now, the family does owe quite a bit of money. If we can't pay it back in time, I'm afraid the family house will have to be auctioned off. But if we give up the shares of Jiyu Corporation, then our family won't have any income at all in the future. Mrs. Yi humbled herself. Xiao Yu, since you brought this up, Auntie just happens to want to ask for your help as well. after Yuan's father passed away. It's all thanks to your family's care. But now the family is really in the most difficult time. I don't know if Mr. Ji you would be willing to lend a hand. Maybe spare us some funds. I promise if the corporation recovers, we'll pay the money back at the first opportunity. Your family also owns shares in the corporation. If the corporation is wealthy again, the dividends for the Jiyu family will be bigger too. Looking at Mrs. Yi's sincere expression, I couldn't help but sneer in my heart. Auntie, it could be even more now. Looking at Mrs. Yi's sincere expression, I couldn't help but sneer in my heart. Auntie, how much does the family need now to get through this crisis? When I asked, Mrs. They immediately answered, we still need 1 billion. It's just 1 billion short. If we had another billion, the family could survive this crisis. When I heard the word 1 billion, I was really put on the spot. I pretended to be troubled. Another 1 billion? Mrs. The, afraid that I would refuse, quickly grabbed my hand. Xiaokei, you're a good kid. Mr. Jiu is a good man too. We widows and orphans really have no other way. If we don't get this billion, I'm afraid we'll end up homeless. Mrs. The knows that I'm just as soft-hearted as my father. At this moment, she spoke even more tearfully of all her hardships recently. I know it was Yuyan who was ungrateful before. I've already taught her a lesson. Don't worry. Auntie only recognizes you, Xiao Yu, as her son-in-law. In the future, when you marry Yu John, you'll be my son. The and Jiyu families will still be one family. Hearing all these nauseating things from Mrs. The, I really couldn't help but pull my hand back. Auntie, we've always been one family. Why say things like this? But 1 billion really is a huge sum. Even if our Jiyu family has some money, we can't just lend out 1 billion like that. Mrs. The started to panic a little. Then what should we do? If we can't get the billion, in a few days, the creditors will come to auction off our house. I tried to calm Mrs. The down. Auntie, please don't worry. Although we can't produce 1 billion, but you actually can. Where would I get 1 billion from? Auntie, you're holding 5% of our Jiyu family's shares. It's not much, but it's still worth a lot. It's about 700 or 800 million. Now, the family is short on cash. These 5% shares can actually provide a monthly dividend. But that's just a drop in the bucket. Considering the relationship between our two families, I've made a decision myself to use 1 billion yuan to acquire the 5% GU shares in the family's hands. By then, I'll have my dad figure something out and sell those 5% shares. Even though our family might lose a few 100 million, at least we can help the family out. After I said all this, Mother Yi started to feel tempted. That's an extra 200 or 300 million for nothing. Good things like this probably won't come up again. Will Brother Jiyu agree to this? My dad is very soft-hearted. Auntie, let me talk to him. It'll definitely work. Seeing Mother the still hesitating, unwilling to let go of those lucrative Jiyu shares, I kept persuading her. Auntie, I'm really doing this for your own good. I heard there are all kinds of debt collection tactics. If you can't pay up, they might even break your hands and feet. When she heard that, Mother Yi's face turned pale. Then I'll give up my shares right now. But when will the money actually be transferred? Don't worry, Auntie. There's something else I need to ask, and you really have to agree. What is it? Auntie, my dad actually sent me here with a mission. Since I'm helping you out so much, I hope you can buy back our 5% the market shares held by GU's group to take them back. After all, it was your family that wanted to divest. Right now, we truly can't come up with that much money either. Auntie, I've done the math. Right now, the market's stock price has plummeted. The shares have lost over half their value. At a time like this, buying back our family's 5% stake in the market is definitely most cost-efficient. When the market rebounds in the future, you can always sell them again. Think about it, Auntie. We used to be holding 5% shares in the market, which were worth nearly 1 billion then. But now with the market stocks dropping Those 5% shares are worth less than 200 million. No matter how you put it, our GU family is taking the loss. Besides, just now, when I bought those shares, I even gave you an extra 300 million. You can't refuse to help me out with something this small, right? Mother, though, was a bit confused by all my calculations. She's shrewd in other ways, but when it comes to running the company, she really lacks experience. That's why I could easily guide her along. That's true. This is a favor I should do. Otherwise, I'd feel ungrateful. When it comes to selling the GU shares, Mother Yi was a bit hesitant. But buying back the shares from GU's group, she couldn't have wanted it more. After all, those shares could be sold again in the future. It'd bring in another sum. And they wouldn't have to split monthly dividends with the GU family anymore. Mother Yi patted my hand. I'll go get the official seal right now, along with our original share agreement. Good kid, wait for me here. I smiled and nodded. The second mother though left. My smile vanished. I calmly took a sip of tea. Mr. GU. The lawyer was just about to ask something, but I stopped him with a look. Only then did the lawyer keep quiet. The lawyer didn't dare say more. Soon Mother rushed out from the bedroom. We hammered out the contract quickly. Got the original share agreements between the GU and the families. I finally let out a smile. Now,
Our GU family.
is finally free of any ties to the family. Xiaoyu, about the money. Don't worry, Auntie. The money will be transferred soon. But let's make things clear up front. The family is in a tough spot right now. I thought about returning the 200 million to GU's group, but maybe the family can't pay it all at once. Hearing this, Mother Yi nodded in agreement. So I have two plans. First plan is to deduct it directly from the 1 billion we're giving back to the family. Second plan, the family can owe us the 200 million. Let the layer draft a contract and just pick something of equivalent value. As collateral, that'll do. Collateral is fine. Mother Yi hardly hesitated at all and chose the second plan. That's exactly what I was hoping for. All right then. I looked at the lawyer behind me with the laptop. Is the contract we just discussed drafted? All done. The lawyer brought up the freshly drafted contract on the laptop and placed it in front of me and Mother printed out. If Ande is okay with everything, let's sign it today. Then we can transfer the money to the family as soon as possible. Mother Yi nodded repeatedly at that. She doesn't really know how to read a contract. As long as she knows. As long as the terms on the contract are favorable to the family, that's enough for her. I calmly sipped my tea from the side. When I saw that Mother had read it thoroughly, she stamped and signed it. She finally had a satisfied smile on her face. And for collateral, let's use the 5 properties your family owns downtown. And 3 cars. But it still feels a bit short. This is tricky. Seeing me struggle, Mother Yi got nervous I'd back out. She spoke up. I still have some jewelry and accessories stored away, all quite valuable. Easily worth at least 20 million. Wait here, I'll go get them for you. I nodded when I heard that. With that included, it should be enough. Lawyer Wang, please make a note of that. Yes, Mr. GU. Lawyer Wang quickly added everything Mother just mentioned to the contract terms. After seeing Mother sign and stamp, I stood up. Once the official seal is on, we'll immediately transfer the money to Yi's account. Auntie, I'll take my leave now. Leaving already? Won't you stay for dinner with Yuyan? No, but thank you, Ande. And with that, I left the family villa with Lawyer Wang. I was afraid if I stayed even a second longer, I'd burst out laughing. Mr. GU, is this really appropriate? Why wouldn't it be? All this time, we've helped the family out so much. It's time they returned the favor. I answered with an indifferent expression. In any case, I won't let our GU family do losing deals again. And I definitely won't let the family take advantage of us for free. By the time I returned in the evening, Father was still worried. Things weren't going smoothly.
especially.
When he saw lawyer Wang looking hesitant, father sighed even more. All right, how much did we lose? Just let me know so I'm mentally prepared. I made 700 million. Made 700 million? Lawyer Wang took out today's agreement with Mother Thee, handed it to my father. My father skeptically opened the contract. Let me see how you made 700 million. My father didn't take it seriously at first, but the more he read, the more confused he became. In the end, he even put on his reading glasses, looking completely shocked. These were all signed by Aunt The. Yeah, she said if we give her just 1 billion, she split everything for us. Not only did she return our GU family's shares, she even mortgaged the house and car to us. Dad, it's all written in black and white on the contract. How could I possibly lie? My father couldn't believe it. Their GU family's 5% shares could easily be sold for 1.5 billion out there. But the family only asked for 1 billion, just to return the shares. And even put up so many things as collateral. It's just unbelievable. What's up with all this collateral anyway? Dad, our family has shares in the corp, right? Anda doesn't have the money for those shares right now. So I told her to mortgage something of equal value. That way, the money can be owed for now. If she can't pay by the due date, we can just auction off the collateral to recoup our losses. Listen to me. My dad was a little surprised. He'd listened to me before too. My dad was a little surprised. Before, when the family owed us money, at most, they just wrote out an IOU. And the IOU didn't even have a payback date, since they've been good friends with the family for years. He never took those IOUs too seriously. Over the past year, the family has already owed us tens of millions. They're just a widow and her child. And every time they use that as an excuse to avoid repaying. My father never expected. This time, I'd actually get Yi's mom to sign a mortgage contract. My mother, who was next to us, spoke up. But the corp's stock price is crashing right now. 5% isn't even worth that much now. Why would she mortgage so much? Mom, the family used to be a wealthy family. And Aunt that doesn't really understand finance or economics. So she has no idea about the stock market. I talked up the family a bit. Aunt they agreed after that. But isn't this a bit much? What's wrong with that? The family has owed us a lot of money this year, and neither of them has shown any intention of paying us back.
Today,
Anda even showed me her jewelry, easily worth tens of millions. So it's clear they aren't broke. They just don't want to pay up. Besides, everyone knows the family is in debt now. We're willing to pay off their debts for them. We've already gone above and beyond. Looking at my parents in front of me, I spoke seriously. Mom, Dad, we have to value relationships in business. But if the other party doesn't appreciate it at all, we shouldn't be too soft-hearted either. I'll never forget how the family treated the GU family in my previous life. In this life, I'm just giving them a taste of their own medicine.